at a glance financial clarity without spreadsheets.
And actually, and I was thinking about you and Evan in a meeting I was at the other day, thinking that you guys might be good to meet each other. I didn't know whether what you did kind of would work with each other or
We have
not.
some
So
overlap. Yeah, Evan, I'm going to drop my email in the chat and you can.
I'll reach out to you. That'll be great.
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
this
I'd
is
like-
all about.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say, I'd like to meet Ian because
Yeah.
you're Profit First certified. I'm Fix This Next certified.
Yay!
Yes.
Isn't
We
it
can refer
amazing?
to each other.
That's what I like about this group is the networking aspects and everything. And since my husband is off being a kind, wonderful, sweet husband and making me a cup of hot tea, I will introduce him for him. He's Evan. He's Ed Becker, and he is a ordained. You are ordained, an ordained chaplain, and is starting to do some work down here in Alabama now with PTSD patients that were or are in the military. He's my chauffeur, running me around everywhere, taking care of me. But right now he's the chief house builder for us, worrying about getting our house finished. So, anything else you want to say, dear? No, he said I did it all. So, and of course, I am Nancy Becker, and I am the chief flying pig wrangler for Business Success Unlimited. And we are going to rock it so that those pigs will fly. And we're going to make sure that everyone that has a chronic illness but wants to continue to run their business is going to be successful. So that's me. And Trish, welcome. Tell us who you are and who your clients are.
Hello, thank you for the welcome. Soon
Hello.
after I walked in the door. My name is Chris Roberto, and I get to work with entrepreneurs with disabilities. I help them build a solid stream of income that will keep them afloat when their health is rocking the boat.
That's wonderful.
And yeah, love what I do. Yeah, it's about finding hacks to every business activity that is involved, whether it's invoicing or whether it's marketing or whether it's delivery of your product or whatever the service may be. Okay, like for example, okay, when you're providing a service and you're billing by the hour, instead of billing by the hour, you charge the same rate, but you bill by the 50 to 55 minutes at a time. Because we need that time in between, I don't know about you guys, what kind of services you provide, but I need that time between clients just to breathe, and that helps my health, right? So that's my first example, but I'm
Absolutely.
Sure
well, wonderful. And we're glad you
guys.
We're glad you made it tonight. I am now going to turn it over to our guest of honor, Kristy Hanswick, who is a social media and content specialist. Kristy, tell us real briefly who you are, what you do, and get this conversation started.
Okay, so for 5 minutes, right?
Yep.
Is this where I'm talking for 5 minutes? Okay, good. I talk really, really fast, so 5 minutes is a lot of time for me. So I am the owner of Simply Online. Like she said, I'm a social media and content strategist. I believe that people spend too much time creating content. They make it too hard to have to create content for your podcast and your blog and your weekly videos and all your social media channels. So I am super passionate about content repurposing. So for those of you that aren't familiar with that term or what that is, it's taking your original piece of content, which we prefer as either video or audio, and we convert that into your blog posts, all your social media posts for the week, your newsletter. We can put on your YouTube channel so that things are cohesive, they convert, they're consistent across all the platforms. So there's a couple of different ways that we help people with that. So I do offer done for you services, but I also have a membership program where I teach you how to do it. We walk step by step together how to do it and how to repurpose, because I like to describe it like a megaphone. So your video or your audio is like the mouthpiece of your megaphone. And then when you're repurposing is taking that message and making it really big. So because it's increasing your visibility and it is increasing your reach across all of the platforms. So we just make it really simple.
That's
Wow.
that's
It
great.
should be simple and it should be strategic. I love to help people think of content ideas. So if you never know what to talk about,
That's what I was going to ask you to just mention a little bit of, how does
Yeah.
how does someone come up with content in the first
So,
place?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked. So the primary thing that I teach is about content cornerstones, and I call them cornerstones because they will become the cornerstone and the lifeblood of everything that you do in relation to marketing for your business. So I recommend that people pick 4 to 6 cornerstones. Now, these are going to be your zones of genius, like the things that you can do in your sleep, the things that you're really passionate about. And then all of your content and everything that you talk about needs to be related to one of those 4 to 6 things. So just to give you an example, some of mine that I'm always talking about are content strategy, social media strategy. I talk a lot about metrics because I love metrics. I love the numbers. I love watching them so that you know what works and what doesn't. Because if something's not working, then you should fix it. So I talk a lot about metrics. I talk a lot about working from home with little kids because I have 3 little kids that are downstairs screaming and hollering and playing with each other. So I talk a lot about running a business as a mom with little kids. So those are just 4 of those things. But then every single week I will pick one of those topics and I will create a video around that topic. So, and then I will take that video and I repurpose it into the other formats. The great thing about that is you're reaching people with different mediums because some people respond really well to video, right? My husband could watch YouTube all day long. I prefer to read stuff because I read really, really fast. So if I had a choice between a video and a blog post, I will 10 times over read the blog post. So if you're only creating one type of that content, if you're only creating the video and forgetting the blog post part of it, the reading part, then you could potentially be missing some of your ideal clients. Same with like podcasting, because some people don't like videos, but they listen to podcasts on repeat all day long while they're cleaning the house or driving kids to school or whatever you do during the day. So some people prefer it to be the audio portion. So, but there are easy ways to create all that content without recreating the wheel every single time.
I'm going to ask another question before I turn
please
it over to everybody else. And then if you think you're good to go, I'm going to let everybody just jump in. But
yeah, please do.
I do better when it's my show, so I get to ask the questions first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a piece of software. For me, it's real. I agree with everything you're saying, but it's really hard for me to do all of that. My energy gets low. I have only so much brain power. I have a program called Missing Letter. I don't know if you've ever. Okay, but that
I have that. Yeah.
But that takes my blog posts and turns them into graphics, turns them into all these different things. I'm trying to find something that will do the same thing for my videos. Is there anything out there that you know of that does that?
That transcribes it and creates the audio or creates the...
Yeah, like, I mean, I know I've got Otter so that it does transcription and things. But if I were to take a video and say, okay, I want you to take this video and I want you to turn it into, 10 different
I don't
things.
know that there's anything that does video like that. You can find a really good VA that can help you with it. That can do it. There's services out there that will like take your video and extract the audio so that then you have a podcast. There's services that will take your Facebook Lives and put them on YouTube, or put them on like Instagram or LinkedIn. I don't know of anything that does that whole process for you
Okay.
with videos.
That's what I was pretty sure was going to be the answer, because I've hunted and I have not found anything. So.
Yeah, I mean, even if you did, I would think that because, I mean, you may have noticed with Otter AI that even when that transcription comes back so
It
often, because it's
needs-
a machine that does it, it's like missing punctuation. That's what I noticed the most, is that it's missing punctuation. And so it doesn't read super awesome. So I'd be nervous even if you did have a software that did that you'd spend a lot of time reviewing and editing the text.
That's true. Darn it. I was hoping.
I know, I'm sorry.
Anyway, guys, unmute
Give
and
it a few years, maybe.
let's just start asking her questions, talking about things that you know that work for this. How many of you struggle with putting together content?
Mhm.
Okay, so I want you to start. This is going to be your homework assignment. I don't know if you have homework assignments in here.
Yep, we do.
But
Okay.
I want you to start with picking those 4 to 6 zones of genius that you can do in your sleep. And then you'll take each one of those and you'll break it down further. So for example, with content strategy, there are a lot of things I can talk about with content strategy. There can be creating one. There can be like the different, like what's the content strategy for Facebook? What's the content strategy for your blog? I could, so I could break those down even more. I could talk about why you need a content strategy. So it's kind of like a higher, it's kind of like a higher bucket, but then you're creating those different topics below it. If you take even 30 minutes after this call just to brainstorm those few things, and then within each of those topics, just try to think of 5 to 10 ways you can talk about that topic. You'll be surprised how quickly you can come up with content ideas. And then when you get stumped, you have this sheet that already has all the ideas on it.
What do you think about using things like Buffer and Hootsuite and posting them out ahead of time?
Yeah. Let me really quickly, can I share my screen and show you something?
Yeah, let me turn it on
I'm going to
for
show
you.
you. I just did this. Oh, yeah, you got to enable it.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. So I just did this for a client today and presented it to her. So I can show you. So here's her buckets, her cornerstones. It's love and joy, soul's expression, energy, creating a life you love, and then curiosity and play. And then beneath each one, I went through and I brainstormed 10 ways that she can talk about love and joy, 10 ways she can talk about her soul's expression. So now when she needs a content idea, she can come to this spreadsheet and she can say, okay, this week for my weekly video, I'm going to talk about meditation 101. And for me, half the brain power is half of the battle is needing to come up with the idea, right? Once you have the idea, most people can talk for a while. So that's the format that we use for our clients. So if you just, I don't remember who said without spreadsheets. You said you do okay. I love spreadsheets. So I do everything with spreadsheets. So maybe you should use a Word doc if you don't love spreadsheets, but the format is the same, right? Pick your 4 to 6 buckets and then brainstorm the 10 ideas below that.
Evernote. I'm learning to love Evernote. Thank you.
Yeah.
I read something the other day though, that it is a forewarning. If you're doing things like this, you still have to engage with these things. You
100%.
can't create something a month out, because somebody had done that and she'd put it up in Hootsuite or something, and it came out and it was, oh, I hope you're having a wonderful day and all this stuff. And it was after one of the bad shootings that somebody had.
That. Did you watch one of my videos that
it may have been. Yeah, I know, I saw it somewhere. Yeah.
We had someone that came to us. So you asked me about schedulers, which I'll answer in a minute, but just to expand on her example. So we had someone that came to us she had pre-scheduled all of her content by the quarter. So she had everything scheduled out for 3 months, which is so awesome, right? Because you're like, yes, I don't have to do social media for that long. And she was really excited about it. Well, one of her clients called her the morning of, there was a bombing at the Jewish
That was it.
center. It was maybe 3 years ago. And she had a post that went out on social media that said, what are you celebrating today? Well, that was wrong for a number of reasons, but she is also Jewish. And so having the bombing at the Jewish center and then this post go out that says, what are you celebrating today, was just like catastrophic for her. And so while it is good and often stress relieving to plan your content far in advance, just it's also important to check up on what you're scheduling so that so you don't run into that situation. Because obviously that's a worst case scenario, but you don't want to be insensitive. That being said, I do love schedulers. I do use schedulers. So, but I only schedule a week in advance.
That was my point.
Yeah. I only schedule a week in advance. So I often will plan my topics for the whole month. So when I'm sitting down to plan my content, I plan my video, what I'm going to talk about for 4 weeks at a time, but then I only actually schedule it a week at a time in the event that something crazy is happening and it just keeps me a little bit more in touch with my content in case something, maybe I decide I want to talk about something else. I don't know.
How often do you do a video?
I do weekly.
Just one a week?
I do. I just do one a week and then I engage in stories most days.
Kristy, where do you record your video?
Where do I record it?
Like, what's your technical? This is what's been holding me back from doing video. I know I need to do it.
Yeah.
I'll do Zoom all day long, but what do you use to?
So all of my content, I deliver, all my original content goes into my Facebook group and so there's, depending on my mood, there's a couple programs that I use. My group, it's called Content with Kristy. We talk about content all day long. So everything starts in there. I either use Facebook Live or I really like Be Live. There's also StreamYard I like Be Live better, but that's just a personal preference. Yeah. If you have a Mac, there's also Ecamm. Really just
at that.
Get started. That's the important thing, is just get started. And if the software makes you nervous, we have had clients start a Facebook group that they're the only person that's in the Facebook group so that you can practice. So you're using StreamYard or Be Live or one of those services, you can practice and be aware of what all the options are before you go.
I should probably clarify that my husband and business partner is not only an artist, but he's also really got deep interests in video. So the quality level where he's concerned, that's why I put the comment in the chat about slice and dice the large, like he can do that.
I didn't even notice the comment, sorry.
He's a video editor, like he can do that. He's made, what is it? We're on Max. So he's used iMovie and taken the trailers, and they went on a missions trip and he brought back all this video and he started or pictures, and he started dropping all these pictures into these movie trailers that were absolutely hysterical, especially to the people who were there for the 12 days. And so he looks at what I'm doing through different eyes. So like Ian, you said, record in Zoom. Yeah, I can. But he looks at that and goes, that's crummy quality. That's not good enough. You have to do better than that. So that's why I'm looking to see what other people were using. He wants
However, I will tell you though, the intention of doing weekly videos is to educate and nurture your audience.
Okay.
They don't care what you look like. I mean, my hair's up because it's the end of the day. They don't care if your makeup's on. They don't care. Really, the most important thing when you're just doing these weekly connection nurturing videos is that you have a good camera and that people can hear you.
Okay.
I think as far as like the quality and the effects and all of that is important for maybe if you're doing like a course, but the most important thing for like Facebook Live or Instagram Live is to show up. Just start showing up, because guess what? If you're not showing up, someone else is, and they're taking your ideal client.
You're right.
So I know it's the hardest thing. I will tell people, you just got to get on video, and they're like, but my hair doesn't look right and I'm not wearing the right thing and my camera makes me look way bigger than I am. Like, I get it, but people, they really don't care. They just want to see you and connect with you and hear your quirks and how you talk with your hands, because I do that often, if you didn't know. That's how they
Challenge
connect with you and
accepted.
build a bond. Yeah.
Challenge accepted. Starting on Monday.
Hey,
And I'll
good.
tell you a secret. I'm in my jammies.
Yeah. See, people
I
really
suit
don't
dress.
care.
No
Waist
longer
up.
a secret, Nancy.
Lynn,
Hey,
you had a
Kristy.
question for her. Go ahead and ask.
What schedule are you using, Kristy?
So, for the longest time, we have just used Buffer and Facebook Creator Studio. Facebook Creator Studio, you can schedule to Facebook and to Instagram. That's worked really well. We manage accounts for about 16 companies right now. So that is what we have used. And we've used Buffer for LinkedIn. And we have had that set up for years. We just recently started using another one. It's a little bit, I think for the basic account, it's about $50 a month. But really, Facebook Creator Studio is fantastic. So.
Yeah. And I use Buffer for everything. So
Yeah, and Buffer is great. The thing I liked about Buffer is there's not a whole lot of bells and whistles. It is a scheduler. They stay in their lane. They know that that's what they're good at, and they're solvers.
Yep.
And I think Buffer is maybe like $10 or $15 a month.
I use the free one.
Is it just a free? Okay.
It doesn't give
remember,
you a lot. Well, it doesn't give you, I think, two. I can put up two different, like LinkedIn and Facebook, two platforms.
Okay.
I can do more if I paid for it, but I'm basically on LinkedIn. So
yeah, so that works efficient.
Yeah. Andrea, were you going to ask something?
I was, yeah, sorry. I was just curious, Kristy, when you do, I like doing video too. Do you do your once a week, like at the same time on the same day? So like
I do.
See you Monday at 5. Okay.
I do. There's a couple reasons for that. One, the consistency is so important to show that you're committed to your audience, to showing up. The other thing is that people, now they know that I go live Thursday mornings at 10. And so I have my regular group of people that just typically show up. So because they know, Kristy's live at 10. Now, that being said, it was so nice to meet you.
Bye-bye, Ann. Nice to see you.
That being said, there are some times that I can't go live Thursday at 10 because I have a meeting or the world fell apart, or yesterday we had a snow day. Oh wait, yesterday was Wednesday. Anyway, sometimes stuff happens that you can't go.
You're on the wrong day.
The exact same time, right? So I use a service called Live Pigeon, and you take your pre-recorded video and it will appear live on Facebook.
What?
That is like my best kept secret. Don't
Live
tell anyone
I've
that
never
sometimes
heard of
I
this.
pre-recorded videos. Yeah, so that one is I think it's $15 a month. And I will
Live Pigeon.
Yep.
That's a
Let me put you a link for it.
I haven't heard of it either.
Because it's like the best kept secret, you guys.
Yeah.
It is awesome. It's real. So occasionally when I know that I can't go live Thursday at 10 a.m., I will record my video the night before and just schedule it through Live Pigeon. And then I'll go back later and respond to the comments.
You can actually do that through Be Live and through StreamYard too, I think,
I
can't
thought
you?
so.
Schedule it.
I thought Be Live you could do that.
You can't upload a pre-recorded unless they've changed that
Oh, I thought
recently.
you could. Okay.
You schedule it ahead of time and it like creates a post that says Kristy will be live at this time. So
But you
Live
still
Pigeon
have to
actually
go
does
live.
that as well, but then it also plays the video for you.
Ah, okay. I wondered how I see people that, and this is something else that I find interesting, and I'm on the fence about it. I'm not sure whether I like it or not. They say they're doing a Facebook Live. And I'm sitting here saying, I saw this 3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
But it's like it really is live. I don't know how they're doing it. It's not.
They could be using Live Pigeon, which I personally prefer Live Pigeon. Facebook also has it's called Facebook Premiere.
That's it.
Where you can schedule it. I personally don't like Facebook's video capabilities. I think they're clunky. That being said, I do a lot of video, and so I'm a little bit pickier. So you could try Facebook Premiere as well, and it kind of does the same thing.
But that's kind of a bad thing to do, isn't it? To not to schedule out, but to say I'm doing something live and pretending like it's live and having it something that's been played over and over and over again. You know, you know what I'm saying?
You know what?
Yeah, like, but keep reusing it.
Keep reusing it, but there's making it look like they're sitting right there talking to you right then. And they're taking questions. I don't know how they're doing it. It's weird.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure how they
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
I use mine just to schedule it, but it's new content when I do it, and it's because I haven't had I had a meeting scheduled or something that I couldn't do my
and I
Thursday
don't see I don't see anything wrong with that. What I'm getting at is being open and honest and above board with everything. Don't say you're doing something live that somebody could have seen you do the exact same thing and know it's the exact same thing because it's word for word the exact same thing.
Yeah.
3 months earlier.
Yeah. They're just reusing their
I think that's really a lack of integrity doing that. So I would suggest nobody do that is what I'm getting at.
And I have a good friend that she's been on maternity leave for the last few months. So she hasn't wanted to go live. So she's been doing the best. She does the best of Laura.
Yeah.
The best of Laura lives, I think. And so for the last,
so people know.
We had her in December. So
but people know that it's I replay podcasts too, but that's exactly what I do. I say, this was such a good podcast that we want to share it with you again. And it's just because I don't have a new one to put up.
Yeah. I know, because it's a commitment going every single week. It really is a commitment. I mean, I've gone every week for a few years. And
how long, Kristy? How long
are my videos?
Yeah.
So I prefer to keep them less than 10 minutes. I think people's attention spans are shorter. If you're going to schedule longer than that, I mean, occasionally mine go like 13 because I have a lot to say. But if you're going to schedule them longer or be like 45 or 60 minutes, to me, that's more of a webinar and you should take registrations and there's just a different format. It used to be that most people would go like 30 minutes, but I think in the last year when we've all been consuming so much content that our attention spans are shorter, that 10 minutes is good. And really within 10 minutes, you can get, if you're taking the transcription and making it a blog post, it's a good, like probably 700 to 800 word blog post. You can get several social media posts from that. Now, if you're only going like 2 or 3 minutes, it's harder to get more posts and blogs from it. So 10 minutes is a good length to get lots of content from.
How does that fit the algorithms?
This is my favorite question, you guys. My very favorite question. I get asked this all the time. And
Nancy, she tell you to ask that question.
I actually don't even think I've ever done a video about this, and I should, because I kind of have a strong opinion about it.
Yeah.
So algorithm, it's a computer. It's a computer software program that is saying, oh, Kristy engaged with this. Kristy liked this. She commented on this. She read this post for 10 seconds.
You use certain words.
What?
They look at certain words.
Right. So, I mean, even since the time I've been talking, it's probably changed 600 times. It's impossible to keep up with it. It's impossible to know all the changes. I feel like there's a lot of marketers that use the word algorithm as a scare tactic. And they use it as a way to like, you have to save my content so that my stuff shows up in your feed. But really the truth of the matter is, if you are creating content every day, you're showing up consistently for your audience and they're engaging, you don't need to worry about algorithms because your stuff, if they're engaging with it, it's naturally going to go to the top anyway. So I feel like don't worry about the word algorithm, worry about creating great content that your people want to show up for. And they'll naturally come back because they love you. So yeah. Recently, there's been a post going around Instagram. I don't know if you have anybody of your followers or anybody you follow has done it, but it says like the algorithm has started ranking the ways you engage on Instagram. Like if you save it, you get more algorithm points. I don't know what they call it, but like if you save it, it means more than if you comment on it or if you comment on a post, it means more than if you like it. Have you guys seen that?
I've
A
heard
post
it.
about that?
Everything I've heard about with social media says that, the
Okay,
dwell
so
time, engagement.
So Instagram actually came out and said that they do not rank saves higher than any other type of engagement. So if you see a post like that where someone's like, you need to save my post because I get a lot of engagement credit from Instagram if you do this, it's not true. just engage with it naturally. Comment to people, ask them questions, get to know them, and you don't need to worry about the rest of it. Engagement does matter, but my point is, you don't get a better engagement score when people save your post versus when they like it, if that makes sense.
And I think it depends on the
Is that
platform,
the same?
right, Steve?
Oh, wait, what? Sorry, there was like 3 comments.
Sandy, go ahead.
I said, I think it depends on the platform, because I know the algorithm is a definite thing on LinkedIn. And that the number 2 things that you want to do there is you want to increase dwell time. So you make sure you write something long enough that people have to click the see more, which keeps them reading long enough to get you more algorithm love on there. And the other thing is getting comments versus likes.
Yeah, LinkedIn may be different.
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram, whether you are liking, commenting, sharing, saving, or dwelling, or like scrolling through the carousel posts, it all counts as engagement. It all counts towards your engagement score, which is what you want to increase, is your engagement score.
Kristy, how do you rank your website SEO tactics against all your social media tactics? How do you
SEO,
prioritize that?
not my jam. I don't know. I don't know on websites and SEO.
So what I'm hearing is you're primarily using social media for lead generation in favor of website SEO, correct?
I currently am, yes.
But I think something that's important, at least in everything I've studied, is when you're doing your social media content, you want them to go to your website, do you not?
Correct. Yeah. So I call that your home base, that your website is your home base. And social media is not intended to be the primary way that you're delivering content. Because if our lovely ex-president that had his social media shut down, his Twitter shut down, and he lost everything, right? Lost his followers, lost everything. If that actually happened to like real world people, you'd be up a creek. If that was the only way that you were collecting information from your people, was to be friends with them on Facebook. So I counsel my clients that you need to be creating content, original content, which is either a video that you're putting on your website or YouTube, a podcast or a blog post, and then using social media as a way to increase your visibility and share that original piece of content.
I agree with
and your
that.
email list. I like to
that-
have people gather
Are you
emails.
doing that? Because I got the sense that you were doing the social media part, but I agree with what you said. And when I teach SEO, it all evolves from the website and then it's pushed out to social media.
Yeah,
That's how
so I blog every single week. I have new blog posts on there. I record my videos on Facebook, but then they are immediately housed on my website.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, kind of. I thought you were doing the social media in favor of the website, but it sounds like you're having some parallel exposure.
Yeah, social media, in my opinion, social media is meant to be as a way to promote the original content that you are creating. And whether you're housing that information on your website, I consider YouTube as a place to house it. I consider that more of a search engine, not a social media site. Your email list or your podcast. As long as and then using social media to get more eyeballs on your stuff.
Right.
And Lynn, what an example that I can give you is that my podcast is on Podbean. That's where it's housed, is on Podbean. But I have a page on my website, that every single one of my podcasts shows up on. And I have a page on Facebook that is nothing but my podcasts. So everything sort of mushes in together, all with the idea of taking it off of those different platforms and putting it onto my website where everything can be seen at one spot.
That's how I do it too. My blogs get posted to the website, and then an introduction to the blog is written to social media with a link back to the blog, whether it's a vlog, a vlog, video log, or a content copy.
And I think
Yeah.
that's what you're saying too, isn't it, Kristy? I think pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trish, you had a question too, I think. That was so
No,
long ago
actually,
you've forgotten.
You know what? I wanted to comment on Kristy. You are an impressive lady.
Oh, thank you.
While you're talking, I'm looking you up online, and wow, I love your style. I love your
Oh, thank
energy.
you.
I will be in touch, definitely.
Awesome.
Okay. I love your repurposing mantra, like that rules everything in the content world for you. I love that. And I'm thrilled that you were speaking tonight, my first meeting to Nancy's Chit Chat.
Oh, well, thank you. It's so nice to meet you.
Yeah,
I will come every single week if I get comments like that.
Well, you'll be the only one if you come every week. Once a month is enough. Does anybody else, Sonia? I know you and I talk about this all the time. Do you have any thoughts, any questions? You've been quiet over there.
I've just been taking it all in, trying to figure out what kind of new content we can use. I mean, all my posts consist of, like a little bit about how is everybody's day, what we've got going on. Then it goes to the specifics of, what we've got coming up if we're having like our Easter Bunny photo shoot that's coming up. So now I'm trying to stay focused in each of my posts about something with that. Last year, which I had a really good month, I was really built up, and then COVID hit and we had to cancel.
Yeah.
And all my good information last year.
So that's okay. You can reuse it.
Huh?
You can reuse it.
I know, and I'm just trying to figure out different ways to word it though, so it doesn't look like it's exactly the same.
Well, and one of the things that she does, which I she's doing what I have told her to do, so hopefully I've told her right. But for instance, their Christmas, they had a Santa Claus shoot, and for a month before Christmas, she did little blurbs about who was Santa Claus. What did Santa Claus mean in different countries and different things like that,
Building up the event. Very cool.
To get some interest going. And then she said, and if you're interested in having your own pictures with Santa Claus taken, we're doing it on such and such a date. Yeah. And that got people interested.
For sure. So other things that you can do that I feel like are really good for photographers, well, really any industry, educate people on your process. So is there a type of camera that you prefer and why? How do they pick good outfits to come? Because that's always the mom's big stress, right? Is that, what do I wear? How do you pick a location? So as the photographer, what do you look for to make a really good location? Is there poses that people prefer? Because again, as moms, we want like our double chin gone and like our bellies and like, so is there a certain pose that you can practice before your photos to whatever? Maybe you wear glasses. Like, how do you keep the glare from showing on your glasses in your pictures? So that's the joy of having those content buckets that I talked about, is you can then break it down into those little suggestions for people. And then when you're sharing and you have a short video that's 5 to 10 minutes, you're sharing one actionable item. And if you can't talk for 5 to 10 minutes, that's totally okay. Start with like 2. You'll work your way up.
I'm working back into getting back into doing my videos because I was for quite a while. I was doing them every day.
Good for you.
I just can't do it every
It's hard to maintain.
and I mean, our photography business is my second job.
Okay.
I still work full time.
Yeah.
Got laid off. So he's been doing more and getting more involved with some of the stuff that I used to do for the business because I just don't have enough time in one.
Right. Yeah. I've had a couple clients that have said, I'm going to go live every single day. And I'm like, good luck.
Once a week,
hard to commit to
I
that.
think once a week I can do that.
Yeah.
No problem. And in fact, I just told Nancy the other night, I finally shut down our Sunday hours.
Yeah.
To where we're closed on Sunday so that Sunday I have to do my paperwork. I can
Day of rest. Yeah.
get some of my posts ready. I can do a video.
Yeah.
Sundays is going to be my one day where I focus
Good for you.
directly on the business.
Good for you. That's hard to do, but good for that's
It
hard
is.
to set aside the time. So I'm proud that you have done that. For sure.
Just trying to figure out what works better because eventually if the business keeps going the way it is, which thank you, Nancy, if it keeps going upward as it is, he won't have to go back to work.
Oh, awesome.
And then that will be what he does all day. He'll work on the photography, on the picture,
Yeah.
and help me with some of the other stuff. And then maybe at some point I can cut back my other job's hours.
Yeah.
And have more time and eventually not have to go to another job either.
They're making pigs fly, Sandy.
Yeah, that's right.
Love it.
But people want to know your process too. Like, what do you do to edit your photos? What do you do?
And that's something that he definitely, because that's him. I'm the business side.
Yeah.
Because that's just me. He's the photographer. He has that eye. And I'm gonna toot my horn for him because the man has an eye for pictures like you would not believe.
That's awesome. So get some testimonials from your customers that are super happy and make sure you're sharing those on social media too. Because I think one of the things that we all miss is talking about ourselves on social media. We're really good about saying client results or like things our team are good at, but it's really hard to talk about ourselves, especially as women. I'm sorry, you few men, but it is really hard. So try to set a goal that you are sharing a testimonial or sharing some client love. I call it client love at least twice a month, because then you're going to get in the practice of not only sharing about yourself and how awesome you are, but you'll also get in the habit of getting testimonials from clients, which is always a good thing to have.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Do we have any more questions? Because if not, we're going to turn it over to the last part of our agenda. But I want to make sure that everybody got their questions asked that wanted questions.
Yeah, feel free to reach out to me, friend me on Facebook, join the group. I'll put the group name in the chat.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you for letting me be here to talk with you.
Oh, I am so glad. I'm so glad you were here and got a lot of good information. So thank you.
Good.
Thank you. The last part of what we do every month with the Chit Chat is we went around in the beginning and said who we were. But now, does anyone have any upcoming events or programs or something like that that they would like to share with everybody in the group?
Our Easter Bunny shoot is coming up March 20th.
Yay! But I am not driving 13 hours.
No,
Where are you located?
We are located in Indiana, Elkhart, Indiana.
Okay. My
Just
husband
outside of South Bend.
Okay. I'm in Utah, so it's a lot more than 13 hours.
Oh yeah.
It's like 26 probably.
I'm in Ontario, so there I got you beat.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what was really funny when I was sharing when I created the event for our Santa pictures, I had somebody from Canada reach out to me. I had somebody from Illinois reach out to me, and somebody from Ohio reach out to me about.
Wow.
And when they found out where we were, they're all like, "Well, that's a little far to travel for a picture."
Is there anything virtually?
But I thanked all of them for the interest, no matter what.
Did you just hear what Sandy said? That's actually an interesting idea that I hadn't thought about. Say it again.
Okay, and I know somebody who did it. I'm in the community of people using Book Like a Boss as a booking tool, and there was one gentleman from Canada, way out on the West Coast, who started sharing in the group this letter with Santa, and it was or video with Santa. I don't know, but somehow they did it virtually. And they were using video, but I would think pictures, there may be a way. It's a thought.
If
How
you can
could you do
figure out
this
somebody to do it.
virtually, where you could create something sellable?
Well, because I know for me, when I get my studio 2 more weeks, I am going to have my camera, my good, photography camera, hooked up to my computer and using it instead of like what I'm using tonight. So is there a way that you could take pictures by getting somebody on Zoom and using your
But
camera?
also have to have bunnies, right?
Say that again.
They'd also have to have bunnies.
Yep.
No, that's where that's where the magic comes in. That's where you play Photoshop.
And he's got Photoshop, so
that's where you take the pictures that are coming into you.
Whiz.
So we'll talk about that and think if we can figure that out. That's a really good idea if you can make it work.
You'd make a lot more money because you would not be bounded by geography anymore.
Yeah.
There you go.
It blew me away though that I had those people reaching out because I didn't realize how many people actually saw stuff our posts outside of Indiana. I mean, we do have friends in a couple other states that see our stuff too, but mostly it's stuff just people here locally.
That's really cool.
People from different areas, I was like, ooh.
That's really
cool.
So, yeah. So anybody else doing anything they want to share? Go ahead.
The next Chit Chat is March 18th, and it will be from a brand new location. From hell or high water.
You're going to be in the garage anyway.
We're going to be in the garage anyway.
She will be, not me.
Brand new studio.
Brand new studio. Everybody's got to know that this week we ran out of heat in 12-degree weather. We had no water for 2.5 days. And last night we lost electricity for 2.5 hours. So we're counting the minutes to our house.
Darn it.
And all this is happening while we're in our 28-foot camper with us and 2 cats.
So I'm going to be writing a book, guys.
Right? How not to move.
When's the move date, Ed? When's the move date?
We are scheduled to close on the 5th of March.
Woohoo.
Exciting.
We went past today.
What happened?
We went past today. The AC and heating guys were there working on that.
And they were planting a tree in the front yard.
That's
Some
good.
landscaping stuff was going in. So progress is being made.
Right.
Oh
So-
yeah, when the landscaping's getting done, you know that it's just around the corner.
Yep. So we're counting the minutes. So, well, if nobody else has anything to share, I am going to share.
Thanks for having me, Nance.
Thank you. I am so glad. I am going to share my gathering mastermind, which is a little bit like this. We meet twice a month. Sonia's one of my my members of the mastermind. You've been a member for like 6 years now, I think, something like that. And we meet twice a month and we talk about different subjects, and we actually work through different, like we might create a content calendar. We might actually do something like that in live time. So we're always looking for new members for one of those programs, and that's what I'm working on right now.
And just to tell y'all, seriously, working with Nancy over the last 6 years, our business really has grown. She knows what she's talking about, and I love it. I love working with her, and
who wouldn't?
She's making pigs fly. Who wouldn't want to work with her?
That's right. That's right. Everybody, it is 7:00. We have done our hour. I think it has been an absolutely fantastic hour. I've learned a lot. I hope you guys have too. I've enjoyed talking with all of you. Next month, it's the 18th of March. Put it on your calendar now so you know. And we're actually going to be talking about mastermind groups next month with Karen Greenstreet. So that'll be another really interesting program. So
Thank you.
everybody have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk again soon.
Nice
Bye-bye.
meeting
Take care.
you.
Have a good one,
Bye,
folks.
buddy.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Kristy.